Hey guys, what's up? So, I got some feedback from our last tutorial, and I think today I wanted to talk to you guys about flip resets and ceiling shots. I know that seems like two very different things, but they go hand in hand, and I feel like they can be very useful. Ceiling shots are a little bit flashy. They're definitely an advanced technique, but flip resets are something that I feel like every player should have some common knowledge of. So, let's talk about flip resets first. Let me reset the ball so that we don't score. Essentially, there's a flip timer. So if I jump, I have about 1.5, maybe 2 seconds to use my flip. If I don't use my flip within that time period, like right now, where I've exhausted the time period, I can't flip anymore. No matter how much I want to, flip, I can't. I've wasted that time. So, there's a max timer. Now, what if I told you there was a way to have an infinite timer? Let me show you. Now, I never jumped, right? I never jumped. But I've been in the air for a while. Do you think I have my flip? I do. Now that's kind of weird, right? How could I have my flip so long? So essentially, what happens is if all 4 wheels make contact with the surface, and you do not jump, but your car stays in the air, you're allowed to flip whenever you want, no matter how early or how late. Even if you flip onto that surface, if you drive off of it, like this, I can flip now. I will have my flip for as long as, until I touch the ground. So you can use this for any kind of recovery. You need to make a save and you accidentally fall off. It's very handy. Let's say that you get bumped. Okay. So right here, I try to recover. And luckily, Kia saved me. But watch what happened. He clears it, and he runs into me. I'm in the air, all 4 wheels left. I did touch the ground, right? So I have my flip here. I don't need to jump to activate a flip. I'm not going to single jump as long as I barrel roll, which I do, so I can get back to the net. It's a great recovery. Had I not flipped at all, I may have had a bad landing. I would have landed in reverse, landed sideways, whatever. But I'm able to use my side flip due to fast reaction time. So there's a lot of applications for having a flip reset, and there are a lot of surfaces that you can flip reset off of. Any surface where your car makes contact with all 4 wheels. The wall, if you get bumped off the wall, you get bumped off the ground. If you fall off of the ceiling, you have your flip. You drive off the goal, you could run into somebody midair and basically hit them like this with all your wheels, just run into them and hit them with your car out of the air. You could get your flip off of somebody else's car midair. But what some people may not realize is that you can get it off the ball. Where is it? Flip reset shots. I'll make sure to post this free trainer pack in the video description for you guys if you want to practice this. But essentially, you can get your flip off the ball like that. But there's a couple handy applications. You can be really flashy by flip resetting off the ball, but I feel that flip resets for offense are a bit of a high level tactic. Essentially, flip resets on defense, if you get bumped and you need to recover, you just need pretty decent reaction time, and you're going to be able to, take a situation where somebody bumps you. A situation where somebody may have hit you into the wall, and you can use it to flip onto a surface, flip into the net, flip towards a boost. As long as you realize what's happened, as long as you know when you have your flip. There are some situations where you're air dribbling, and you drop the ball, and it hits your car. Sometimes you'll have your flip there if it hits your wheels. Now, I will say for flip resetting off of the ball, longer cars are going to be much more difficult to do this with. Like let's say if I switch to the Mantis, right, and I go back to Torment's flip reset shot, I'm willing to bet I will not hit this on the first or second or third try. Alright, well I got the flip reset, but the ball didn't really go anywhere. Cars like this that have such a huge wheelbase, your margin of error is going to be so much lower. Or, sorry, yeah, lower. Help, words. You're gonna have to really nail that sweet spot in the center of the car so all 4 wheels touch this ball. So, on to ceiling shots. Now, how does flip resetting factor into a ceiling shot? Well, let me show you what a ceiling shot is. It's pretty self-explanatory, but it's kind of a new angle. You know, you can flip reset off of the ceiling, and if you decide to flip reset, it can be a little telegraphed. It's definitely got a lot of room to be unblockable, but another way to hit the ball is just to jump off of the roof. And this angle is very awkward for defenders in net. What the person in net sees is somebody basically like just up hiding behind the ball like they're air dribbling, but they get this flip out of nowhere. And ceiling shots using your flip are very timing dependent. You need to make sure you're lined up perfectly with the goal, and your initial aim is actually not going to be where you think it is. So let me explain that for you guys. First of all, if you don't know how the best way to set yourself up for anything off the wall is just get this ball rolling. Just hit the center, make sure it rolls, and then hit it once it goes up to the glass. For a lot of ceiling shots, you're going to want to make sure that before you flip, if you're jumping off the roof, you actually jump below the ball. Jumping below the ball will correct for your car to front flip. Let me show you what happens without a ball in a controlled environment. When you front flip off of the ceiling, your car gets lift. Your car actually goes up for a second. So, getting that timing right, getting that spacing right, and the faster you do a ceiling shot, the more difficult it's going to be to time it, especially with your setup like that. In a real world situation, there might be a scenario where the ball just happens to float up near the ceiling and you can go chase it down with a ceiling touch. But you need to make sure that the ball isn't dropping too quickly. Preferably hitting a rising ball would be best, one that isn't going to touch the ceiling, but gets very close. And you just want to make sure that you aim underneath the ball so you can correct with your flip. Now, let's go over the slight variation. Essentially, you can air dribble this ball from the ceiling and then touch it or even flip into it again. Getting an air dribble off of the ceiling without using your jump can be so tricky, but if you can get at least one solid touch and follow it up with a flip, those 2 sudden direction changes on the defender, if he's waiting in net, he is absolutely not going to be ready. Absolutely. If you have somebody who's kind of rushing the ball down, this setup will probably get shut down about halfway through the aerial. If people are very aggressive, they're not going to let you do this to them. Here's a good setup. Except I didn't have my flip. Sometimes that happens. I don't understand, you fall off the ceiling, and I don't know if it's the way you fall off, but sometimes you just don't have that flip, and it's quite annoying. There's another good setup. So yeah. Maybe you've seen other pros or other people on stream do it, so just want to explain what's happening, some of the technical skill and timing that has to go into something like this, and then if you want to try it, just show you how to practice it in your own time. Setting it up off the ceiling. Once you get used to the setup angle and getting underneath the ball, things get a whole lot easier. So yeah, go ahead and give it a shot. Try it in your free training, even if it seems a little advanced. Just remember that flip resets are pretty easy. Look at this. I have never successfully done this. Sorry, I got sidetracked. Just remember that flip resets are a thing. If you get bumped out of the net, or you get bumped towards your own net and you need to get there really quickly, you can flip. You can flip. If you fall off a surface, you get bumped up here or something, you know? You can fly back to your net and flip across it if you need to. If you're flying across the net and you need to make a save, and you don't have boost, you can front flip to get the rest of the way, you know? Flip resets are very cool, and identifying when you have your flip and when you don't, just remembering that can make the difference in, you know, being there for that shot or being there for that save. So, just wanted to show you guys that, and I hope you learned something new. And thank you guys for watching.